He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like hating on, like doing things with people I done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I like. He said that to you.
Right.
Like, yes, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas don't know what they like because they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
The courtroom had spoken. The headlines had shifted. And Diddy, bruised but not broken, may have thought the worst was behind him. But just as the dust began to settle, 50 Cent emerged. Not with a legal motion or a PR statement, but with something far more explosive, a video, no warning, no buildup, just a cold drop into the chaos.
A new baby oil.
$6,000 grams, you ain't got nothing on it.
I got a new baby oil, bro.
Yeah. This ain't baby oil.
Nigga, you ran through 8,000 jars of them in prison.
Man.
Well, man, you ashy lying.
Relax.
I mean,
Still got everybody looking.
50 Cent is back at it, trolling Sean, Diddy, Combs with an AI-generated video. This time, the video shows Diddy in a baby oil costume. The post references the baby oil seized from Diddy's homes amid his legal troubles, but this is just the latest jab from 50 Cent, who seems to always have something to say about Diddy and the scandals surrounding him. So, what will 50 do next in his ongoing feud with Sean, Diddy, Combs?
Sean Diddy Combs and 50 Cent. These two go back a long time. They have been rivals for a long time. And this week we learned that, at least from Diddy's side of things, this feud apparently went far beyond words. 50 Cent's name came up during the testimony this week of Capricorn Clark. She is a former assistant of Sean Combs who went on to become the head of marketing for his Sean John clothing brand. Clark rose successfully and professionally through the ranks of Diddy's world during her time working for him, which stretched between 2004 to 2018, so she saw a lot. Clark claimed that Diddy would threaten her. She says he even kidnapped her in 2011. All of this matters as we build up to how 50 Cent kind of factors into what she said on the stand. Now, Capricorn Clark started working for Bad Boy after she worked for Death Row Records.
A video so surreal, it felt like Sataran, yet it struck with the precision of a dagger. AI generated, eerily lifelike, and designed to humiliate. The clip showed a digital Diddy shirtless dripping in baby oil, parading through a mansion, lined with branded oil bottles like some twisted product launched from hell. The lighting was cinematic, the background absurdly luxurious, and the voiceover a deep-faked parody that mimicked Diddy's swagger with razor-sharp cruelty. It was a mockery of the infamous home raid, repackaged as a nightmarish Super Bowl. ADD, and 50 Cent didn't just drop the video, he detonated it, timed to hit right after the verdict. It wasn't just trolling, it was strategic, brutal, and it broke the internet.
Now that's surprising, since Death Row was ran by perhaps Diddy's most hated enemy, Suge Knight. Clark said that one of her good friends had a baby with Suge Knight, and that's how she knew him. And in perhaps the most shocking story from her testimony, Clark claimed that shortly after she started working for Diddy, Diddy and his security guards took her to Central Park after dark, and Diddy said, quote, "He told me he didn't know that I had anything to do with Suge Knight, and if anything happened, he would have to kill me." It is an allegation that paints Combs as someone who is ready to take a life. But as Capricorn Clark's testimony continued, she brought up another rival, Sean Diddy Combs, and another allegation that he made an ominous threat of violence. Clark testified, when working for Diddy, they went to a press event at MTV and 50 Cent was there. Just wait until you hear what she says Diddy told 50's manager. 50 Cent's real name is Curtis Jackson. He rose to fame in the early 2000s. You might remember songs like In the Club. You might remember that he was the leader of the rap group G-Unit. Now, 50 grew up in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Diddy, also a New York native. He was born in Harlem, grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, just about 20 miles away. And even though they both had success in music, they both rose to fame representing the city of New York and the rap scene there, they have been longtime rivals. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track about Diddy. So almost 20 years ago, this goes back a long way. And in that diss track, he says, quote, "Who shot Biggie Smalls? We don't get 'em. They gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that expletive. Man, that expletive soft." 50 is accusing Combs there of knowing who killed his friend, the notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Wallace and Puffy were incredibly close, but Wallace was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles in 1997, and no one has ever been charged for pulling the trigger. This all happened during really the height of the East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry of the 90s, which involved Suge Knight, who we mentioned earlier. 50 Cent has also accused Diddy of orchestrating the murder of death row rapper Tupac Shakur, who died in 1996 in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This is Dwayne Keith D. Davis. He was arrested in September 2023, and he is the only person facing charges related to Tupac's murder. But 50 Cent has continued to push the allegation that Sean Combs either knows something or did something for Tupac to end up dead, though Diddy has denied that. But in a 2023 Instagram post, 50 wrote, "Damn, so Pac got lined by brother love, LOL, time to lawyer up, expletive, might get sticky," with a pic of Suge Knight in a car with Tupac. Diddy, who has a lot of names, Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, and Brother Love is one of those other names. Now, from Diddy's side of things, again, he's denied having anything to do with Tupac's murder, and he's also denied having anything to do with Christopher Wallace's death, and he's denied publicly having issues with 50 Cent.
The timing was surgical. The caption, just one brutal line. Asterisk, if you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, you better moisturize that ego. That sentence alone detonated every timeline. The AI video exploded across the internet, racking up millions of views within hours. It wasn't just viral, it was a cultural event. Reaction videos, meme threads, parody remix, sit took over every platform. But it wasn't just comedy. It was a scalpel disguised as a joke, slicing straight into Diddy's legacy. Fans dissected every frame, hunting for Easter eggs, connecting dots, pointing back to the infamous home raid, the one where agents found box after box of baby oil, stacked like inventory in a Costco aisle. At the time, it was a meme. Then it was silence. Now it was resurrection and revenge. 50 didn't just mock Diddy, he turned that raid into performance art. And Diddy, he snapped. Sources say he shattered a laptop on site. Others claim he stormed out of a meeting, red-faced and cursing. His team scrambled, tried damage control, but the wildfire was already raging. TikTokers reenacted the video. Celebs reposted it. Even brands took jabs. It wasn't just humiliation, it was domination.
50 Cent is taking shots at Sean Diddy Combs on Instagram. 50 mocking his longtime rival after Diddy's arrest Monday night.
He brought him to New York about 2 weeks ago because he knew this day was coming.
Where was 50 on Monday? Also in New York, making an appearance on the Drew Barrymore show.
What are you looking for? And do you know what you're looking for?
Well, just real friendship.
Friendship, but not with Diddy.
You ain't a friend of mine. You ain't a friend of mine.
50 posting a sweet picture of him and Drew on Instagram, but the caption tells a different story.
I have a lot of fun.
Here I am keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore show, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house.
I'm not panicking. They are.
50 referring to the over 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil found when the feds raided Diddy's home in March. One of many details revealed in his now unsealed indictment, which laid out the charges for his arrest.
I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
While Curtis gave 2 cents on the situation,
People love tragedy. You know, more than they love good news, no matter how you look at it.
Diddy's attorney, who maintains the rapper's innocence, tended to a media frenzy Tuesday morning.
I expect we're going to have an arraignment at some point later today.
The office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that.
Baby oil companies started running tongue-in-cheek ads. Sly references tucked into their marketing like inside jokes for the internet. The mockery was universal. But this wasn't just about laughs, it was about what the joke represented. Diddy had just sidestepped the most severe legal consequences. But 50 Cent's AI video made sure no one forgot why he was under fire in the first place. It reignited the public's memory of the raid, the bizarre stockpiles, the freak-offs, the silence, and all those strange details that never quite made sense. In 50, he made it all look effortless. He followed up the viral video with a clip of himself laughing for 30 full seconds before deadpanning. This ain't even the real footage. Wait till you see what's next. It wasn't a pun, it was a warning. Beneath the humor was a clear message. He's been documenting everything, and he's not stopping until Diddy is fully exposed. Industry insiders called it a PR apocalypse. No brand rehab, no lawyer-crafted statement, no counter-interview could erase the stain left behind. The video, AI or not, etched itself into pop culture. Even Diddy's inner circle began to distance themselves. Invitations dried up, deals vanished, and his name became a whisper in industry halls. Because when 50 Cent targets you on, the internet joins in. It's not just a joke, it's a funeral. The clip didn't show crimes, but it did something far worse. It dismantled the persona. It turned the icon into a meme, the mogul into a punchline. And for someone obsessed with image, with dominance, that was lethal, because behind every laugh echoed real questions. Why that much baby oil? Why hidden? Why did it take a federal raid for the truth to surface? The video may have been fake, but the unease it triggered was deeply real. And 50 Cent knew exactly what he was doing. He turned comedy into commentary, humor into humiliation, and Diddy into a cautionary tale.
Here's what Combs said when he was asked about a beef with 50 in a 2018 interview with the radio show The Breakfast Club, Power 105.1 FM.
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
with Fifth. He loves me. He loves me. Do y'all
really
can't
have a
see it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't.
Y'all can't see that he loves me.
But see,
You really, hold on, you really think that's hate?
If you look at 50's social media, you can see he has a lot of posts about Diddy. This is what he posted the day that federal agents in Miami raided Combs' mansion ahead of his arrest on the charges that he's now on trial for. 50 Cent posted on X, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." 50 Cent also included a link to his G-Unit clothing brand in that post. While Diddy in the Breakfast Club clip said that 50 Cent actually loves him and there was never a beef, on the stand this week, Capricorn Clark said otherwise. Clark said that she was at this press event at MTV with Diddy and 50 Cent was also there, all of this happening in New York. Clark said, quote, "After the interview wrapped up, myself, Puff, and Chris Lighty got in the elevator." Clark said that Lighty was an entertainment manager who, on paper, was managing Diddy at the time, but was also 50 Cent's manager at the time. Prosecutors asked Clark what happened in the elevator. And she said, quote, "Puff told Chris, because they were having some sort of issue, like, I really don't like all the back and forth. I don't do that. I like guns." The prosecutor then asked, "What's the issue with an individual?" And Clark responded, he had an issue with 50 Cent. She said Combs was very serious when he said that. In this case, it has become common to hear testimony from witnesses about alleged threats by Diddy. In fact, several witnesses have said that Diddy regularly threatened to fire people, to beat people, like his former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and in this case, making a threat involving firearms to settle a dispute, per the testimony of someone who was one of his closest associates for more than a decade. Invoking gun violence and some sort of veiled threat, that could be scary for some, but apparently not 50 Cent. On Instagram, 50 posted right after his name came up in the courtroom, quote, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe," with a picture that looked like an AI image of 50 Cent on a movie set looking serious. And he wasn't done. Shortly after that, he posted another AI image on Instagram of him in a Yankees hat with a very scared look on his face with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low." Sad face emoji. "I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL. Then the next day he posted what he did that night. He went to the NBA playoff game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And you can see him here in a picture on the floor in a shirt that reads, quote, "Free Diddy," playing into the trolling that 50 Cent has done to Sean Combs over the years, even before Combs was ever accused of what he is on trial for. Now, Combs' trial is expected to last another month at least. He's charged with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty.
As misinformation spread, it only got louder. Every takedown request backfired spectacularly, turning the video into the Streisand effect on steroids. And 50. He didn't flinch. No statements, no explanations, just fire emojis flooding the comment sections like victory confetti. He didn't need a judge or jury. He had the algorithm. He didn't need sworn affidavits. He had the culture. In this digital war, Diddy didn't just lose the narrative, he lost the last thing he thought he controlled, his image. Because in the court of public opinion, all it takes is one viral meme, one perfectly timed troll, to destroy decades of branding. Thanks to 50 Cent, Diddy wasn't a mogul anymore. He was the baby oil meme, a walking punchline, a glitch in the empire he built. And the worst part, this was just the beginning. 50 had more clips, more satire, more painful truth wrapped in humor, and Diddy couldn't stop it. He couldn't sue it away, flag it down, or out-PR it. Because once the internet starts laughing, it's already too late. and the laughter was only getting louder. Then came the knockout. 50 dropped exclusive merch. T-shirts reading 1000 Bottles Club. Hoodies stamped with the viral AI image. Mugs that said "Stay Greased" sold out within hours. Influencers wore them on live streams. The joke had evolved into a full-blown cultural moment. Meanwhile, Diddy's team scrambled. They issued cease and desists, claimed defamation, threatened lawsuits, but every threat just poured gasoline on the fire. Because you can't control a storm when you're the punchline of it.
It's there to establish it. I'm going to strike those so it gives the jury less options to find him guilty of racketeering. It gives the prosecution less options to argue when it comes to a closing argument. And by the way, it goes back to a question we got earlier today during the lunch show. Somebody had said, how come the jury just doesn't get the jury instructions at the beginning of the case as opposed to the end of the case? Well, let's see what's presented. Let's see what's actually shown during the course of the trial. There might be insufficient evidence to actually move forward with some of these charges, some of these elements. So it's interesting. Now, what about sex trafficking? What were the arguments that the defense made for why the sex trafficking should be thrown out? And by the way, let me just say this. For the prosecution's point of view, they are arguing that Jane and Cassie were victims of sex trafficking, that Combs used force, fraud, or coercion to induce them to engage in sex acts with male commercial sex workers. Something of value was exchanged. There is a transportation element to it as well. What did they say? What did they argue for why this should be thrown out?
Well, everyone has to remember that Sean Combs is charged with 2 counts of sex trafficking, count 2 and then count 4. Count 2 kind of involving alleged victim number 1, that being Cassie Ventura, and then count 4 involving alleged victim number 2, that being Jane Doe. So in terms of their arguments for count 2 specifically, Alexandra Shapiro said, the key element here is what Sean Combs knew, and that they allege that Cassie didn't really communicate her reluctance to doing these freak-offs or hotel nights, as they were later called, that under count 2, the defense says that the relationship was toxic for many reasons, something that they've been kind of talking to all the way dating back to the pre-trial stuff. And the defense also kind of pointing out, they acknowledge that Sean Combs was, according to Alexandra Shapiro, she used the words regrettably violent. And so it's something that the defense acknowledged throughout the course of this trial, going all the way back to openings where they say that Sean Combs, and they admit he was violent with his girlfriends, and in this case, Cassie. And the defense says domestic violence is not evidence of sex trafficking, something that I think a lot of people who have been following this case on social media, some people think this way. But in terms of count 4, in relation to alleged number 2, that being Jane, the defense says that the evidence is insufficient and that Mr. Combs couldn't have known that Jane didn't want to participate in these hotel nights. Alexandra Shapiro said the evidence showed that Jane was willing to participate. Again, going back to some of those text messages the jury was able to see. And I kind of agree with you there, Jesse, where it did kind of feel like this is maybe a little preview, a little sneak peek of what their closing arguments are going to.
As misinformation spread, it only got louder. Every takedown request backfired spectacularly, turning the video into the Streisand effect on steroids. And 50, he didn't flinch. No statements, no explanations, just fire emojis flooding the comment sections like victory confetti. He didn't need a judge or jury. He had the algorithm. He didn't need sworn affidavits. He had the culture. In this digital war, Diddy didn't just lose the narrative, he lost the last thing he thought he controlled. His image, because in the court of public opinion, all it takes is one viral meme, one perfectly timed troll, to destroy decades of branding. Thanks to 50 Cent, Diddy wasn't a mogul anymore. He was the baby oil meme, a walking punchline, a glitch in the empire he built. And the worst part, this was just the beginning. 50 had more clips, more satire, more painful truth wrapped in humor, and Diddy couldn't stop it. He couldn't sue it away, flag it down, or out-PR it. Because once the internet starts laughing, it's already too late, and the laughter was only getting louder. Then came the knockout. 50 dropped exclusive merch, t-shirts reading 1000 Bottles Club, hoodies stamped with the viral AI image, mugs that said "Stay Greased" sold out within hours. Influencers wore them on live streams. The joke had evolved into a full-blown cultural moment. Meanwhile, Diddy's team scrambled. They issued cease and desists, claimed defamation, threatened lawsuits, but every threat just poured gasoline on the fire. Because you can't control a storm when you're the punchline of it.